You guys here? All right, thank you. All right, so with that said, Mr. EJ, would you come up doing our invocation and our pledge, please? Yes, sir. Pray first, please.
Let's pray together. Father, we're so thankful for this day that you've given us. We thank you for this great community and this city that you've given us to work together for. We'd ask God tonight that you'd help us to lay aside any differences and any divisions, that we can keep the people and the hearts of future generations in our mind, Lord, as we develop and build a city that we know your hand is upon. We've got a great hope for the future. That we're not just building a city for us today, but we're building a city for the future generations. The Bible reminds us that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children's children. Help us, Lord God, be mindful of that, to lay forward a future, God, for our children and our children's children, to have a city, Lord, that will walk together in unity. Bless it, I beg you. Bring hope and help and healing. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor EJ, thank you, sir. All right. We're going to start our meeting at 6:01. Miss Nikki, your eyesight's not fooling you. This is Nikki, not Brenda today. If you'll keep Brenda in your prayers. Obviously, her husband had a major surgery, and she's just taking care of him right now, and hopefully everything turns out real good. So we've got an all-star Nikki here. All right.
Paula?
We got
Here. Okay. Mike?
here.
Jennifer? Here. Bonnie? Here. Bonnie?
I said here.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I waited so I could take my drink.
I was like, I didn't hear it either.
Say it again.
Faith?
Say it now.
Here. Brad?
Here.
Awesome. Thank
Didn't know we
you.
were going to have so much action just on roll call. All right, I need a motion to approve our minutes from October the 28th.
I'll make a motion.
Got Faith on
I'll
that?
second.
Second with Jennifer. Oh,
Want to make one small correction?
yes, sir. Sorry about that, Brad.
It may just be like a clarification.
Yes, sir.
When we were talking about the fire department mitigation ordinance, it alluded to the insurance taking 10% off the top. That should have been clarified that the third-party building company would take that 10%,
Okay.
not the insurance company.
Okay.
All right, so-
Fix that.
You going to fix that, Mr. Nikki?
It's under 7.25.
7.25.
Let's just double check it. Everybody will just take a look at it, just make sure.
So the insurance would take 10% of that?
No, the
No.
third party
third
cost
party.
recovery.
Third party.
The third party building company,
Okay.
not the insurance.
I'll fix that.
You got that? All right, so I got a second, and Ms. Nikki, would you give us a?
Faith? Yes. Jennifer?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Thank you. Brad?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Paula?
Yes.
Bonnie, that was scary.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was a little scary. I know Halloween's over with, but. All right, so before we get started here, I just want to bring up a couple things. I know we got a couple more meetings before we finish up for the season first fall. We had an election from the country down. I think we did good, and I congratulate everybody that ran, and everybody worked hard. And I just want to make sure that in the reflection of the first 2 years, you've got to really know that I want to say this out loud. I want to thank this council, the department heads, the staffs, nonprofits, and the churches, and everybody that worked together to make these first 2 years what they were. So thank you all, first of all. A lot of support from you guys, because I know a lot of it's done day to day, but you guys have got to vote for things. And I think it's important to say that, because these first 2 years were pretty special. A lot of foundation was being laid, literally, but as well as really getting all the projects. So this next year, we're going to get started. The first thing that's going to be complete, and I want everybody, we've kind of said this, but I want to make sure you guys know that. I've got a couple things to add to that, but I want to make sure you know that the first thing that's going to be complete is the skate park that's going to be done in April. Towards the end of the year, we're going to have the playground, the splash pad, the gaga ball, the basketball court, and pickleball. I got you in pickleball. But I think for everybody to understand that piece, and including what we call the ARPA building, We have that money now. Now we have 2 million sitting in the bank because we allocated the money towards our other expenses. That 2 million is going to be used to build that building. And so we're pretty excited about that. We've got our money in place for those two facilities. And then going into the spring, with everything working out, we're gonna have the amphitheater and dog park piece. The big prize is actually gonna be in the summer of '26 when the aquatic center gets done. And then the last thing to be done, the late part of '26, will actually be the town square. And part of the town square isn't so much that it's the money piece of it, as much as the dealing with the lines in 61 and moving all that out and putting those big arms out there. That's the expensive piece of it. And, you know, a lot of people want to question, and I think it's good questions, but the way that everything has worked out money-wise, we've been able to cover this. So what I'm gonna challenge all the council members to do is, we can do it 2 of you or just 1 of you at a time, over the next 2 or 3 months. Let's make sure I show you everything that's allocated for every dollar, so that you see it. Because I think it's, because what happened to us, and we know we spent $5 million on property acquisitions, and then the other $25 million, right, for the aquatic center. So where's that money coming to do these other projects? Well, you need to see that. We've mentioned already $4 million. We've got money carried over in this budget that we've actually put in public works. So I just need to make sure that you have that, because you're gonna get questions. And I think it's important that you all know that, first of all, just look what we did in the first 2 years. What it shows is that Shepherdsville can do anything if we work together. Look at the first 2 years. We're not just talking about what we did on these projects, but look at the community service things that we did, the kind of events we put on in the park. All that happened because of this kind of working together. And listen, it doesn't mean that me and Bonnie won't have differences. Oh, we do. We do. Right. But it shows you that you can get things done, and all laughable side of it, but we really do know that we all want the city to be better. There's not anybody up here that doesn't want to have a good city. I believe in all of you guys. And I think that's the piece I want to make sure I remind you, because as we finish 2 more meetings for this year, this is going to be a lot. This next 2 years are going to be wonderful what you see. I'm not going to say I go by the aquatic center every day, but I do.
He does. So do I.
Yeah, and it's exciting to see those kind of things. And I think for you guys to see what we're doing in our downtown area, all the things that's going to make this city a good place to come and visit, right? If you stay in a hotel, you can walk to the aquatic center or Cart Country, or you can walk down through the downtown area. We're going to work on those sidewalks. That's the money that we're going to start working on, more of that money. You know, we put money, $1 million into the streets fix. Faith is going to talk about, I don't want to steal her thunder, but there's some things that you guys are going to work on. I'm going to encourage you these next 2 years is find those things that you want to do and put some thought to it, and we'll get them done, because we have money that we've allocated in public works. Yes, we've got money tagged for the park projects, but we've got money we're doing. If you've not been to the park, if you go to the park tomorrow, you will see the nice fence we're putting around the pavilion area. We painted it, we sealed it, we've got everything cleaned up around it. We're starting to make it look nice. We're starting to clear areas in front of the river. The reason why I'm telling you that stuff is because we all did it. That stuff gets done because we did it. Okay, and I say that out loud. I realize I'm the mayor, but I just want you all to know thank you, because this year's going to be gone. And I want to make sure you all know that we got a lot of work in front of us next year, but most of it's just doing the day-to-day stuff, and that's what we do. But if you got passions about stuff, let me know, because we're going to work on some stuff, and I think that's what's going to really finish this off, is all these projects are going to get done, and we continue to make this city what it should have been a long time ago. And I just want to say thank you. I'm not asking for Christmas cards. Maybe I am. But anyway, with that said, I just want to make sure you know, I really appreciate everybody's effort. I mean, I talk about that a lot, and I say thank you as much as I can. But we've got some new people we're going to introduce tonight on our team. But EJ, you're not on the agenda, but would you come up here for just a couple of minutes? This is one of the things that we're real proud. We're not really sure all the pieces. We're working it all out now. But EJ, if you give us 2 minutes and talk about the Dream Center and talk about what we're going to do here, then when it starts. You can push that button. Would you push that button? There you go.
Got it right there. So we got a few things that we want to talk about, and something we're really excited about. Me and Mayor Cabero has been working together on just utilizing the community center. And so with the community center, there's this thing we're looking at calling the Dream Center. I just took some notes to make sure I give you guys the 30,000-foot view, but essentially it's going to offer a free after-school program 3 days a week from 3 to 6 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's something that through our church and through the community we're going to provide, but it's going to be not just Field of Grace. It's a community-wide thing. So we got partners really across. The fire department's involved. The police department's coming out. They're involved. To give you some ideas of who all is involved, we've got the public library. They're going to own the third Wednesday of every single month. They're going to come out and teach the kids the technology side of things, the whole the rental stuff they do there. We've got a culinary class coming in. We got free music lessons coming in once a month. A veterinarian's gonna come in and talk about dog rescue and animal rescue in our county, how to rehab the animals. There's a basic mechanics class that's gonna come in. Gary Settles with Supreme Lending is gonna come in and do a session on real estate development. We're partnering with Cozaires. They're actually looking at maybe giving us a grant towards this as well. And so we've been just really working. Right now, it's just Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 3 to 6. We still gotta figure out the piece to get the kids there. So that's a big piece we do have to figure out. But if we can get the kids there, we're gonna have a really high-class program for them. I'd love to see it, 5 days a week, but just baby steps, just offering something that we can do at the level of excellence in the beginning and just really show the people we care about. I mean, we're living in a very impoverished area, and we recognize that. And I know the way I grew up, sometimes you just forget that what you've seen your whole life doesn't have to be what you always will be. And so to get these kids around and people that, have made it, done something different, and just help them dream again. Just really help them dream and think there's something more out there. Whether it's working with the police department, fire department, or being a veterinarian, there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah, again, January 6th.
January 6th, we hope to roll it out January 6th. I think the very first night will be the police department. I think they're gonna own, if I've got it right, they're gonna be owning, the first Wednesday night of every single month. The fire department's gonna be doing the second Thursday. The library's got the third Wednesday. And again, what it is they'll own one night a month for, so they'll have 12 events each person.
So what I would like to do with council, if you guys will look at it, we'll get a schedule together. If there's a time you can make one of those just to see what it is, we'd love to have you out there. Because that way you kind of see, because the two things that EJ brought up was, first of all, knowing our community. And we have 25% of our community really struggles with just getting the bills paid, right, and putting food on the table. So we're trying to remember that piece. But we're also trying to make sure that the other part, and the tricky part is getting them there, because it's no charge for that. That helps offset some of the costs that now the people have to incur for after school care, right? And so if we can figure out that piece, I've talked to Jesse Bacon a little bit, that's a tricky part on their part, but if we can find ways, maybe a mom picks up her child, but maybe she can pick up another child that lives in next door, 2 doors down, take them both over here, let them both do that, while mom can do something else and pick them back up. It would help that family. So there's gonna be some partnerships like that. We would love to find ideally somebody that could bring the 6 or 8 or 10 kids from one school and bring them to the daycare, and then parents pick up their kids there with no charge for the daycare.
Can we establish maybe like a bus stop?
My plan would be, I would love for them to provide that as a bus stop.
Stuff like that. If there's a bus route in that area, we use.
That's what we're talking to them now. We've got a meeting with Jesse. I've got another meeting in about 2 weeks from now. So
To make it successful, I think really if they would adopt it as a bus stop, that would be.
That'd be great.
What's his name? I don't
So
remember
EJ,
his
I
name.
have a question for you. What hours is it you said?
3 to 6.
3 to 6?
3 to
And
6.
is this any school in Bullitt County or just
Any
city?
school in Bullitt County from 5th grade to 12th grade.
Okay, 5th to 12th.
And as it,
Afraid to get there, their school doesn't get out that early.
yeah, and
No,
so
but
they can come in late, and their
Yeah.
food and snacks will be provided. We've partnered with the Turnaround Center in our church that will provide all the food and snacks. So they're coming. Well, that might be a big piece as well. There's families that just can't, they don't have food, and so they'll be able to eat before they leave. I'm praying on the culinary class. It's a time they'll learn how to do things as well. I'm looking at an economic engineering class as well, where they can learn how to just handle finances and stretch it and make money, make
Yeah,
make
they should be
sense.
teaching that in school. I'm not gonna lie about that. So I do think, so we've got, he's got a vision here. We've got a facility to be able to use that for. So now we just gotta work out that, if we can at least start with people knowing that service is out there, there's some creativity on that. But I'll be getting with Jesse first, and then if they're interested in helping us with that, I know that they got families. Since they made the transition to what they're doing now, some of that's been incurred cost. And so we're just trying to see how we can help some of these families make that work. I wanted to do that. So we'll be getting together here next week or two and kinda button this thing down, and then we'll bring something back to you guys, okay? So you can kinda see it. But I want you to see the schedule, so if you get a chance.
We still need 8 partners, I think. I think it's 8, we still need 8 partners. And so if you've got other ideas or people that you think would like to come in, again, it'd be a great time for them.
Yeah, I think it'd just be great to be around these kids.
Anything that's gonna help advance and help them dream. So a culinary class, that may be a group. We got a music class that's coming in, but we've talked about the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe they would wanna come in and host it.
And some of the business
Maybe
stuff.
the city council as a whole, you guys would like to come in and just talk about governance.
So, Ms. Heatherwood,
The veterans,
Yeah, my salon, we would love to do that.
yeah.
We would love to be part
it'd be real cool, because I mean, again, cosmetology and all that piece is a bit
Yeah,
of
that's
it. We
integral.
all have like different upbringings, so, when you have enough things and then you make a business
Yes.
That's a big piece, and when they see that, that's real life story, right? So that's a good thing. So things like that, anybody, and we'll do things. I guess the biggest piece there, we'll have to figure out, Amber, maybe as we put this thing out, we'll put a little, if anybody wants to volunteer to do that for the kids in different professions, we can always mix it up, and then we can ask the kids. How about some of the things that maybe we need to ask them a little bit and see what they'd be interested in hearing about? Okay? Cool. I just wanted you all to hear that, because we've been talking on the phone a lot, but I want to keep you up, because listen, all those projects are really cool, but this stuff really is important to our community. It is really help these kids.
Well, this
get
makes
where they go.
differences 10,
Absolutely.
15 years down the road, and we start changing that poverty number if these kids can start.
As we
dreaming
break that
and-
chain a little bit, and then
Yes.
again, being a bigger part of our community, so, EJ, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
I-
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate that very much, thank you, buddy.
And if you need help with like drinks and snacks too, just send us a list of what stuff you wanna stock it with.
Okay.
We can help with that too.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Thank you very much. All right, with that said, all right. I'm really excited. We got two really wonderful team members. I'm gonna start with Angie. Come on up here for a minute. The Inquisition starts right now. Or waterboarding, whatever you wanna pick. Come on up there. That thing's already green, so you don't have to do anything with it. Well, first of all, here's what I wanna do. I'm really excited to have you. She's our new financial director. But I want her just to introduce herself. I wanted you guys to know her, and, these are the ones that be coming and asking questions. Hey, what about that line 5040? They'll be that one. They'll be one of these people. So,
We want to pre-warn you about Mike.
yeah, well, we'll give you the slow version of Mike now, but then we'll tell you the real version later.
Okay.
We're gonna tell her about you.
Well, I had 50 questions tonight.
Good.
I've
All
only
right,
been
well,
here
that's
8
it.
hours, so I don't have
So-
all the answers.
Angie, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Angie Middall. I've been in Bullitt County since 1993. My husband is here. He's
Hi, husband.
Troy Middall. I've been working in accounting for about 26 years, so I have all kinds of experience with publicly traded companies, with Sarbanes-Oxley, with audits, with segregation of duties, with compliance. I have 2 kids from Bullitt County. One of them lives in Georgia now, and the other one lives in Shepherdsville and works in Shepherdsville.
My favorite color?
Your favorite color?
No, yours.
Yellow.
Yeah, all right, so we got that out of the way. All right, so we were talking about that, and so the interesting thing about audits, obviously, we've been catching up a little. We got one more we got to get across the finish line to get caught up, and that really puts us in a good spot. You do audits how many times a year?
We did 12. We had 3 a quarter.
So it was interesting when, in the interview process, that she brought that up to us, and I thought, wow, you've got a lot of spring training going on. So, again, I know that they'll vary a little bit in what those measurements are, but we think the fact that's an important piece of what we do. We talk about collecting the money, paying our bills, audits and budgets, right? Those are the 4 critical legs of this chair as far as our financial piece.
Yep.
And so we felt like that you'd be a great addition to the team. We think your experience is gonna be good, and hopefully your husband likes us too.
Thank you. Yes, so far he
All right,
does.
we
Yeah,
want
I'm
him
excited to be
We want him
here.
to like us and be part of our family. So, but we're excited to have you. I don't know if you guys want any questions or want to ask her anything, but I just wanted you all to meet her today. And then somebody, come by the office. If you got a few minutes, come by and sit down and talk to her a little bit. And we're gonna do, so we are going to, so Holly can run the numbers that we normally get. We're gonna get you numbers, the first week of December, so you get caught up numbers for the year. They look pretty solid so far. We'll go over that. We can go over some things like that. We can do, I've thought about that piece. Since we give them to you, if we bring it to the meeting, if you wanna go through and make notes and bring them up here, that's fine too. Cause when you ask a question, that may be a question from somebody here in the audience or somebody watching it on YouTube. They might say, hey, that's a good question. Maybe that's something I would have asked. What do you think about that? You know, do that? We can throw that kind of what,
Yeah.
you like that? All right. And Mike, no, you don't get to ask any questions.
Will Angie be here to answer them, or should we let her?
So I would give her an email. I would,
Once a month?
well, we'll have you come up to one of these meetings. We'll kind of, when you're finishing up the day, it's usually like it's at 6, you're done at 5. We'll have you stay for one of these and let you maybe be the first part of the meeting, something like that we can do.
We'll have to stay for
Yeah,
the whole
but
thing.
just to give you guys a little idea and give you some information, but definitely stop by and see her. We're gonna give her 30 days to really just get acclimated to everybody and then work on systems and get things in place. But we're excited to have you. We have a lot of great things going on in the city, but we know we need to have a good team at City Hall.
Thank
Okay.
you. I'm excited to be here.
All right, we're glad to have you. All right.
Welcome to Shepherdsville,
Yeah. Welcome, Justin.
and God bless, you have to work with him every day.
Every day. And your office is really close to mine. I pray for you every day. Sorry, husband. Sure, that's okay. All right. Sam, come on down. You're the next contestant. So this is Sam. So,
Hello, Sam.
Hi there.
we've been told by a couple people we got a really good one here. We felt that way when we hired her. But Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Samantha. I go by Sam Satterley. I am not originally from
Shepherdsville, but I am a Kentucky gal, so we're on the same side. Moved here about 3 years ago. I studied sustainability at U of L. Got my master's degree last December. Basically focusing on sustainable development. If you don't know what that is, it's how do we use our resources today in a way that supports the future. Also a proud military veteran. I served in Iraq and I was in the Army for 8 years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm excited to be here. Excited to see all of the plans come to fruition.
Yeah, she had to spend time with me today. Sorry, people. Sorry about that. Yeah, drove around and took her to the aquatic park, Steve. I took her to that, the aquatic park. I took her there.
God bless you.
No, what?
I'll tell her about our support group later.
Get everybody together. But I'm excited because, I mean, I look at a number of things. First of all, your commitment to the country. I think that's a great thing. I think you're a master's in sustainability. With the wetlands that we have, there's a lot of creativity in that piece in our development. We talked about that with Arthur, putting some things in the wetlands, actually in that park. And all that area there is around the river could be some really cool things that we're gonna do. So we've got a lot of cool stuff we're gonna get started with. There's a maintaining of it. But I really believe we're just keep adding folks to our list that are gonna do good things. So welcome to our team. We're glad to have you. You guys have any questions or anything?
You can direct them to there.
No. Wow, she's off to a good start. Wow. Wow. Look at that.
You go, girl.
She got sassy Sam.
Let me go see if I can go back to that interview process.
I think I'm gonna get to work with her a little bit.
Yeah, oh my God, she don't need any of you right now. She's enough of her own. It's all good. Oh God, see, now wait, Sam, that was not the best start I was wanting. That's not how I wanted this to start. Yeah, you're still in probationary period. That's my city attorney told me. Anyway, we're glad to have both of you. It's going to be great. We're excited because, like I said, we're doing good things, but we know we need good people all the way around. So thank you very much for both of you, and really excited to work with you guys. All right.
Congratulations and good luck.
Yes. Miss Courtney Burton, would you come on up here? We've got our other part of our team, Sam and Angie.
So I just wanted to offer, as we're winding down this year, a couple of things that are important to all of us in the room. In the name of economic development, I want to make sure everybody is aware of two things we're doing that it's really giving us an opportunity to learn a lot about Bullitt County, but also compare Bullitt County to the 6 counties that we are constantly discussing and working with through the Kentuckiana Works Board. So it's really important that we have access to the amazing people on the Kentuckiana Works Board, but it also helps that we have access to those dollars. And so when we have an opportunity to present to the Michael Wright and that group, just being connected and sitting on that board gives Bullitt County a really big opportunity. Shepherdsville has so much going on with all of our opportunities for employment. Now we're talking about strategic plans for transportation and housing, and it's not just a Shepherdsville city conversation, right? It's a 7-county conversation because everyone in those 7 counties have folks that want jobs and want a better house or want a permanent home. And we have an opportunity to really get funding at a federal and a state level, not just at a city level. So one thing is I just want to make sure we're really putting ourselves on the map and being a spokesperson in those meetings because we have a lot going on here in Shepherdsville, and it's just as important as Kentuckiana Works is speaking to the entire 7 counties that we as Shepherdsville are speaking on behalf of ourselves in those meetings. So that's one thing that we've really been working on, and for 2 years straight we've been in those meetings and we're being represented. Another thing that we have developed a strong relationship with the Bullitt County Economic Development Board. So that is a board that is ever-changing, and we have a lot going on with all of the cities in Bullitt County, but Shepherdsville is represented very strongly. The Chamber of Commerce has really come in, and they are being a part of that. Anita's doing a great job, but we are also, Jose and I are at almost every meeting. Mike has been coming. We really want Shepherdsville to be represented in that economic piece because, again, in the Bullitt County area, Shepherdsville has so much to offer, but we also want to know what's going on in Lebanon Junction. We want to know how we can partner with Mount Washington and Hillview, and those relationships are happening, and they're just growing stronger and stronger. So anytime you guys are available and want to attend either one of those, please let me know because I would love to it's just amazing the things that you can learn just by going and sitting in those meetings, and those are both public meetings. I want to switch gears a little bit to talk about commitments and some fundraising piece, because also part of my job in economic development is to create partnerships, and we've been working on those. And so just to recap, the last 18 to 20 months, we have $525,000 in verbal and written commitments. The last two commitments are coming in light of the Veterans Park. And so those are sponsorships of statues that we're putting on both sides of the wall. So it's been extremely, it's an original thing, and it's very new to me to ask for sponsorships for something that's not built, that it is on a drawing or it is a concept, but we're making it happen. So just so you know, all of these, the $525,000 that we have secured over commitments, because again, most of these contracts, just like the one with U of L and the one with First Harrison, just say as soon as the structure is complete, that's when these payments, and again, it is a signed, sealed, and delivered contract with these businesses. But it's really excited to think about. We've raised over $500,000 on our on our visions. So can imagine, not one of these have to do with the aquatic center. There's none of these have to do with the big aquatic center. There's so much more room to grow. And now that we're starting to see dirt moved and we're starting to see footers put in, the sky's the limit here. So I just wanted to give some serious credit to our sponsors. And grants is another big deal. If you've ever been to the J-Town Memorial Park, if you haven't, drive by, so much of that, over 50% of that park was funded by grants. So we have an opportunity for those military monuments, for those memorial gardens. If you word it appropriately and we can get the right schematics and work with the engineers, we can get thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in grants. So we're not overlooking that. And then just a couple of other things I wanted to just say that we've really developed and worked on over the last 2 years. Obviously, I'm very near and dear to my veteran community. And if you look at what we've done just over the last 12 months with the wall, with the planning of the Vietnam Veterans Day Parade, with the Week of Honor, those are 3 things that did not exist 12 months ago. No one even had a clue. No one knew they were coming to our community. But from the great creative minds of veterans coming and saying, hey, City of Shepherdsville, will you back me on this? Will you sponsor this? Will you get behind this? The mayor and you guys agreed yes. The community got involved. And we had thousands and thousands of Vietnam and Korean War veterans. That is such a big deal. I mean, thousands of veterans, Korean War and Vietnam veterans coming to that wall. It was an emotional experience. And it was unbelievable return on that investment. The Vietnam Veterans Day Parade, we already have 40 names of Vietnam veterans that are going to participate in that parade. So you want to talk about economic development, but I'm also focusing on community development, veteran development. That is a big deal. And last but not least, I want to talk about our Downtown Business Association. Part of the economic development and part of that revitalization that we talked about before I even came on board, it's happening. If you drive downtown, if you were driving down 18 months ago and you drive downtown now, it's a significant difference. And that's blood, sweat, tears. How many times have we seen driving by planters, people cleaning, spreading the sidewalks? People are taking pride in Buckman. It's a really big deal, and I'm proud to be a part of it. So we are focusing on economic outside of Bullitt County, but representing Shepherdsville well. We're really focusing on the interlocking of the community and economic development inside the city of Shepherdsville. But we're also working on these special demographics of people who deserve it and can contribute to our community in a variety of ways. So that, in short, is my presentation of the last 18 to 20 months of my life. Yes.
When's the next small business?
Well, so that's
Oh,
a
you
funny
haven't got
story.
one yet?
Yeah, no, so just really quickly, I'd like to give a shout out to the Sweet Shop and to Heather, because their precious souls wrote down the date that I said, which was tonight. But that was before I knew that we moved the meeting. So you are attending technically.
You are actually in the meeting. Make sure you fill out the sign-up
Yeah,
sheet.
thanks
Okay.
a lot for that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Fill out the
I'll be
sign-up.
right, as soon as we get a good date, you'll be the
Okay.
first to know.
I walked in, I was like, wow, this is a lot.
I'm so
That's a
sorry.
lot of
I know. But other than Heather and
Well, we're glad to have you. I mean,
we're a little more laid back in our meetings. Do you all have any questions, or do you have any?
I do think that the Vietnam Veterans Parade next year is going to be a really big deal. This wall was really special to a lot of folks. And,
It sure was.
and I think that's the one thing we want to do is we want to recognize that we've got a lot of people in our community that have done some memorable things through the years. and just serving your country is the top of the list. And so we wanna make sure we do that, and I think that we can do things like that, recognizing whatever part you've played to make this community good, we're gonna recognize it before you get done with us. Cause I think that's a big part of what's happening now. And so that's why I said, I think we look at the groundswell, I think downtown and some of the areas around the Aquatic Center are all gonna develop because of what's going on. And we think that people are starting to look at Shepherdsville in a different light. Why not Shepherdsville? Why not build my house there? And so we're working with home developers now. We're going around, we're gonna be going next week, look at different areas of the city to see where housing development can be made, because people wanna build here.
I got some ideas.
You got some ideas?
Courtney, I just wanna say, I think it's a great job that you've raised that much money, with no building, yet. I know when I worked at, the law firm, and even with Willie's job, people are always coming in, and it is very hard to get people to commit, especially the kinds of money we're asking. We're not asking for a couple of $100s. It's very hard to get people to wanna commit before the project is done, let alone even before it started. And so I just wanna commend you. I think that's amazing. I think it's awesome, and so I really appreciate all of your hard work, because I know it's hard to get people on board.
It is a testimony that people believe in the vision. They believe in what you guys are voting on. They believe in what you're pushing. They believe in what you're offering. And so to be able to put that together and ask to be a part of it, you can do that when you're proud of what you're doing. You're proud of what you're representing. And I think what we're doing right now, it's absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. The next couple of years, there'll be a lot of we did like a lot of legwork behind there, a lot of meetings, a lot of stuff to go through, and all the bidding processes and all that. That's all what I call that's boring stuff. It really is kind of boring in a lot of ways. And so now the real fun starts. And by the time we get next year, it'll look different over there. You're gonna see walls up. You're gonna see glass in there. You're gonna see all kinds of things that's gonna make it sound like wow. It's really up there. And I think that'll be an easier part to sell. And we really have not attacked some of our bigger players in the county.
Because they won't go on a drawing.
Right. But that's what I'm saying,
the
fact that you've gotten this much money on just a drawing, and once they start to see the development, then even more doors are gonna open, for you, and I know you're already reaching out and making those connections so that when it happens, you've got your foot in the door, and I think it's great, because I know, I could not do that. So.
We let you take care of the legal things.
I'll take care of the legal stuff, but
thank you, Ms.
anyway, I just wanna say thank you.
No, Miss Amber, come on up. Thank you, Miss Courtney.
She's got flyers.
Always.
Always got flyers.
So where has this year gone? Only 2 months left. It's crazy. But we've had lots of events, and we are wrapping up our free basketball and gaga ball clinic this Saturday from 12 to 1:30. That will be it until January and February. We're going to offer a free baseball clinic here at the Government Center. So be out on the lookout for that. And then our next big event is Light Up Shepherdsville, December 7th from 5 to 8. We are still accepting parade applicants and vendors up until the 25th of this month. So if you're interested, please see myself or Courtney. She's over the parade participants.
38 or 39 strong.
Yes,
I have a group that wants to, I got an application for it.
Oh, cool.
It's the Voodoo Jeep Club.
Oh, I have it.
Yes, they reached out a couple days.
Did they reach out today?
It's the new Jeep Club in town.
This is a different one. The one that did it last year.
I have it, Voodoo Jeep Club.
Yeah,
Okay.
Voodoo,
She
yeah.
We have
contacted
two
me
Jeep
today.
Clubs. There's a Serena and a
Serena.
Lynn. So I have both
And I
of them.
told her to contact you.
She
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
So before I forget this, so I'm gonna tell you, I voted for your Jeep last year. You don't get to win twice, Jennifer.
That's the rules. You can't win 2 years.
I picked your Jeep last year. You
Oh,
won.
I'm not doing a Jeep or a Razor this year.
Okay.
I'm doing a float.
Okay.
So I'm in a whole new category.
You're in a
I
whole
get
new
to
category.
on
You can
this
win
year.
now. If you're a Jeep, you're not
It's
winning
gonna
again.
rock.
Okay,
Everybody
all right.
will rock.
All right.
Just
So
gonna stay
she's got her own float. That's a different category. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I do wanna make sure that, I don't wanna go on Field of Grace. Thank you, basketball, gaga ball.
That's why I
You
was
got an
about
awesome
to,
one.
yes,
I just wanted to say that again. That was really awesome.
it's been
Your group.
phenomenal
Yeah,
to
they did a
have you
great
all,
job
yep.
with it, so.
They have, Derek and Michael.
You
That's
had
been great.
mentioned feeding this, do we wanna do like hot dogs or hamburgers like the closing?
I mean, we could.
I didn't know if that'd be something.
I'll be there.
we should,
I'll help cook and do whatever I gotta do. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next.
It's really good. A lot of parents come to these things. You're really very appreciative of having that on there. No cost to the kids. They have a good time. I always thought my goal was to wear them out so that when they get home, the kids will be tired and will wear out the parents. That was my goal for them. All right, sorry, I interrupted you. Go right ahead.
It's okay. So, we're gonna have vendors on both sides at Buckman again this year. Journey has said that they are gonna be open again. They are not gonna do their Grinchmas this year, but they are going to offer popcorn, crafts for the community as well as their bathrooms. So we will have food trucks and vendors in their parking lot that will stretch all the way up to First Harrison, and then on the other side up to Louann Moore's. We will also have food trucks that expand to that end of South Buckman, because we had feedback from last year that a lot of people couldn't make it down to Journey for the food trucks. So we're going to give that option spread out this year. So. And then towards the end of December, we have the Kids Winterfest here at the Government Center on December 20th from 5:30 to 7:30.
Thank God we got somebody really in charge of that.
My son is in charge of that event. Last year was the first year for that. He wanted an event free for kids in the community where they could come and enjoy the evening with sponsors that did crafts, face painting, free pictures with Santa, hot cocoa. He had 14 sponsors last year, and he is up to 21 sponsors as of right now.
Can he work with you on that?
He gets it from me, okay?
Okay.
Just saying. So yeah, so if you have kids, family, come out for that evening, and then that wraps it up for the events of the year.
Yeah, I want to make one comment about the January, February. A lot of these kids who come out for tryouts in the spring don't really have any working skills at all. And even though, again, parents are really nice and they want to volunteer to help coach, the two coaches that coach our program now are willing to take January and February, Saturday mornings, and teach these kids how to throw, how to field a baseball, how to stand at the plate, and really work on some hitting skills. So we like that. Again, it gives some of these kids, they get a head start, then they get into tryouts, so they'll be a little bit more prepared, a little more confident, right? And that they give a chance to play baseball, right, Tom? We think that's a pretty good sport. And so we think it's a great way for kids to really stay involved, because you can't beat baseball as far as a, kind of American sport, get kids out there to play. But I do really appreciate Ken and Tommy doing that. That's something they want to do. We're going to be meeting next week to get all the working out on that. But it's going to be like 9 to 10:30 like we're doing Saturdays now. So it'll be about 8 Saturdays. So I'm really appreciative of that. And I appreciate everybody does. I mean, that's a nice thing to volunteer your time to go do that. And it's really great for the kids. Kids won't forget it. I can tell you now, I see some of the kids that we started with last year, very back in January, and I see them today when we go down there on Saturdays, and it's the same kids, and they just have a good time. They really enjoy it. Parents really appreciate it too. So, again, thank you. We're gonna have a great float. Maybe we'll win something this year.
Maybe. Yes.
There's one person always coming in late. All right.
Amber,
Amber,
I just want to, this is gratitude month, so I just want to thank you because it is. And I just want to thank you because I think that these events are wonderful. Winterfest, I know, was put together last year, last minute, basically for that size event. And it was still a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to this year because I know you got to plan it a little bit more and not just felt like you were rushing and throwing it together. But the Christmas parade, I'm looking forward to. That was fun last year. Food truck invasion. I mean, I just, and I love how you put things out on Facebook, either on All About Shepherdsville or just under your stuff, letting people know, keeping us informed. So I just appreciate all the work that you've done for our community. So
it does. We got a good team, but really, I do appreciate you because you've done a good job with that. So thank you. All right. All right. Last but not least, come up here. Bonnie, he's coming up. Get ready for him, Bonnie.
He might not get any
get your.
One time.
Okay, hold on.
One time.
You get that finger close.
I'm bracing myself.
We
you
prayed.
might not get any thanks.
Bonnie, we prayed together at church so that he knows when he's coming. We prayed. We're fine. You got this, Jamie.
I've been anointed.
You've been anointed.
So, since the last time I was here, we haven't had another planning commission meeting, so there's not anything to update from previous meetings. We do have a meeting this Thursday. There are no cases. There are no zoning cases on the docket within the city of Shepherdsville. there is one landscape plan within the city of Shepherdsville that will be, presented. So
Are they asking for a waiver?
Let's hope
they
not.
are,
Oh,
and I don't, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to discuss that case today,
yeah.
Right.
but I'll say that, from our last meet, or coming here last time, I definitely heard you loud and clear, and I honestly feel the support that I need in order to make that case. So,
You know, we were talking about this, and I
Say no.
well,
I'll be there.
I will say this, I will say this, because if you look at, one of the things that really stood out to this last couple of years has been really you guys working on the planning and zoning piece. I think you guys have been really as due diligent. I've watched other council meetings with other cities, and even the county. I just didn't have as much time to see what they do. But you guys are really asking good questions. I mean, in all fairness, we do want, we struggle with the years of development out here, and we look at things and go, why did that get built? Or why was it like that? And so I don't think we don't have to do that today, because I do. I think you guys are really asking good questions. I mean, all around, look, if you look at the different things we've done over the last couple of years, I've not disagreed with the questions you asked, first of all, that they've asked of you or of anybody coming up here. And I think that's what we got to continue to do. And I think it's going to change. And I think the more people just know that part, that you guys are fair about it. You're not asking for anything unreasonable. I mean, I'm not trying to speak for you guys, because I have no vote in that, but I get to listen to what you ask. And I think as long as that's kind of the expectation, and if really, the best thing you can do is just email all of them. If you've got, hey, this is coming up, guys, you got any thoughts? So that you can take those thoughts with you when you go. Because you're not, again, you are representing what we think is best because of your profession. I mean, that's the reason why you're in this position. Because I know that you have that insight, that intellect, that can give us a good decision. But to get their inputs is just gonna help you make a better decision. Because it's obviously gonna represent Shepherdsville. And this is what we're gonna do. All of us are doing that. So I appreciate it. I just wanted you to come say hey more than anything else. But if you have something like that, and even with anything coming up after that gets done, shoot an email out to them and copy me on, because so I can see what, and then they can ask questions. Maybe they can shoot you back an email. Hey, Jimmy, or can you ask about this? Anything that comes up if you're not going to be here. We're just trying to get you just once a month, not try to get you all up all the time. That'd be a lot of time for Bonnie to kind of talk to you. Just saying.
Jeremy, just remember, barring some really, significant issue, they voted unanimously for that landscaping plan. And so barring there really being, like, we can't do it because there's an easement and they're telling us we can't, okay, then that might be a valid reason. But just remember that going in, that they, their kind of general stance is probably not in favor of a waiver unless it's an exceptional circumstance. And that I think, because that was a unanimous vote by this council.
Yep.
I think that speaks very loudly for them, so.
I think I saw a lot of head nodding, so I think we're good on that, right? I think we're good on it. I think,
Not saying the waiver never
we can set up
could be
smoke
worse,
signals
but-
if you'd like, but.
no.
All right, but
So
anyway.
you got their support at least, and,
Yes.
Yeah.
so there's that.
I do think it's important for you guys to know that, so maybe a little heads up when you have things come up that, that you guys shoot him an email, what your thoughts are, because then again, you guys can talk about it. He can maybe you think a certain way, but maybe he gives you insight that may change it, but may not, but at least make sure he knows it when you go into it. That way, you got it on the front end, instead of coming here sometimes, and we kind of go through that process. But listen, I gotta tell you, appreciate the first couple of years, we're gonna keep doing this, buddy. Good stuff, I appreciate you doing it.
It's been a learning
I think you're
experience.
doing
It's been a new, expanding my practice. It's on the edge of my professional practice, but it's been a good thing, and I feel like I've been able to bring a lot of insight that wasn't there before.
I do believe that. I've been to a few of those meetings, and I think that you raise the level of awareness of social folks, and just instead of them saying no or yes, you're giving them reasons to think otherwise. So, appreciate that, Jeremy. Thank you very much for being here. All right. All right. Yes. All right.
Let's see.
Old business, Ms. Catherine. We have 024065. And by the way, before we start on that real quick, honey, I am sorry. I know you went to watch our grandson bowl. Since you said I was being mean. One of you did.
I did.
Did you say I was being mean? Okay.
But that
I was
is
mean-
important.
It is important. I know she's grandson bowl.
Okay, summary of ordinance 024065, an ordinance amending the Bullock County City zoning order and the Bullock County City zoning map as amended, changing the zoning of 0.31 acres more or less located at 175 Highway 44 West in the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037N00170001 from R2 Residential to B2 Central Business. Sponsored by Councilmember Bonnie Enlow, co-sponsored by Councilmember Faith Portman. Summary, Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on September 12, 2024, docket number 2024Z-48, and based on the testimony and evidence presented at the hearing, recommended that the Bullock County City Zoning Order and the Bullock County City Zoning Map be amended to change the zoning of 0.31 acres located at 175 Highway 44 West, also known as parcel 037N00170001, hereinafter subject property from R2 Residential to B2 Central Business. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had its own public hearing on October 14, 2024. Section 3 sets forth the finding of fact that the map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Section 4 sets forth that the City Council adopts the Bullock County Planning Commission's recommendations set forth in docket number 2024Z-48, rezoning the subject property from R2 Residential to B2 Central Business. Section 5 sets forth that the Bullock County City Zoning Order and the Bullock County City Zoning Map are amended to change the zoning of the subject property from R2 Residential to B2 Central Business. Section 6 sets forth the severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirements.
All right, so I don't know that we've talked about this one already. This is a pretty simple one. And if there's any other concerns, I think we were pretty good with that the last time on that. Bonnie, do you have anything? Make a motion by Ms. Bonnie.
I'll second it.
Faith, second. Okay.
Brad,
Yes.
Paula,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Faith.
Yes.
All right, council, thank you on that.
All
We've
right,
got,
we are not gonna read that second ordinance. The attorney representing the property owner, emailed me today asking me to push that because he has not gotten the zoning restriction agreement signed by his client.
Oh,
He's been a
okay.
little overwhelmed, so he doesn't have that signed, so he asked me to push that to the next meeting. I've confirmed that we are, fine. We're not gonna miss the 90-day deadline. It doesn't until the December 11th, so we have plenty of time to
we'll do
read
that
that
on
or
the
do another.
25th. Our next meeting will be November 25th.
Yes.
We'll just do it then.
Yes, that was what he asked, and I told him that I didn't think that would be an issue.
Sounds good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Who is the attorney that asked you to, because it's my brother's property, and this is the third time we're gonna postpone it?
No, this isn't, we've not postponed it at all. Yes, this is the property. It was, yeah, Mark Edison, thank you. Mark Edison, yeah, is your brother Victor Judd? My understanding, I don't know, does he represent Mr. Judd? Okay, I guess he's.
Do you have an attorney that's involved with you guys on this
But
property?
he, asked me to push it because we don't have, so I sent him a zoning restriction agreement for your brother to sign. It was discussed at the hearing that we had. Basically, it just states that it will only be, it'll be rezoned light industrial, but only for the purpose of a tree service business. And that would follow the chain of title. And so Mark just hadn't gotten that signed by him yet. And so, that is why. Now, if you've got contact with your brother after the meeting, I'll be happy to get his information and I'll send it directly to him. My understanding was that Mr. Edison represented him, in the hearing.
I thought he did.
Yeah, so can I ask you this? So you're here because you just mentioned that it keeps being postponed. It's not been postponed. Our process,
He told me that the thing's been canceled twice without any,
not with the city, not with the city. We don't know anything about the planning and zoning piece.
if planning and zoning went just fine, they signed off on it, everything fine.
We had our,
They've had it in here now.
yes, we have a public hearing. And then after the public hearing, at the next meeting, we have to do a first reading of an ordinance. And then after that, we do the second. And so we have followed that path. Now, sometimes it does take a little longer after the planning commission to have a hearing here because we have to get their records first. And then there's a timing issue of getting it into the newspaper for the publication requirements by statute. and then there's gotta be at least 10 days notice. So that might be why you feel like there's been a little bit of a delay. It's just more been a timing issue. But this is the first time that we are not doing, that it's been in front of us ready to be.
To a planning board,
It went to the planning commission,
okay,
the planning and zoning commission.
all right, so they canceled his meetings in twice.
Okay, yeah, I don't know anything
So
about
he's
that.
he's in the final stages
But
of
he's in
that
the
property.
final-
So like today, because the attorney hasn't got him to sign the restrictions on it, as soon as he signs it, like today would have been would have finalized it.
Yeah,
So we're just, now we have, our next meeting is the 25th. Unfortunately, that's another 11, yeah, it's another
25th,
13
no,
days.
it's a Monday and it's at 6 o'clock here.
Yeah,
And,
But Mark Edison is the attorney, right?
yes, yes.
yeah.
So,
And anything, you were here you came in this morning, is that correct? Yeah, no worries about that, so.
and I apologize, he didn't send me this email until this afternoon, so, out of professional courtesy and the fact that we don't have a zoning restriction agreement, and so that may sway how they would decide, and that might not be in your brother's favor, so I would, strongly, that's why I agreed to push it, so that we could make sure that we got that.
Please reach out to your brother and make sure he gets with Mark and get that piece taken. With those restrictions, you have support of this council. I don't want to speak for them, but I think they were all in favor with the restrictions that we've conceded to. If they do that, then there's no problem with the transaction, all that happening. But the key is he's got to sign that piece of paper.
I'll tell him to get with it, because that's his attorney,
No worries at all. We want to get him taken care of, but now you have the freshest information about this whole situation. So now you're off to a good start. But if you do, you can come back to the office, and if you need any other questions, we'll try to answer them for you. Okay? All right, well, thank you very much. No worries, no worries. We'd love to help you out. All right, so remarkably, we don't have, can I say it? Can I say that we don't have like 26 oh,
Thank goodness.
see?
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Off fairness to you, is that it's really nice. Nikki, what a great job today. Really good. We still got a few more little things though, so it's just a little bit left. Not yet. It's close to the finish line though. All right, we obviously have no new business, no executives. Planning and zoning, we talked to. Board adjustments, I did not hear from him. I would think at this point, I don't think we have any department heads. So, where is police chief at?
He left.
Oh, there is something on the agenda though.
Come on up and, come up. You got anything you want to share with us? What was it, I'm sorry?
They do have something on the agenda tomorrow for planning and zoning.
They do?
Or,
Is it
Board of
from-
Adjustments.
It's from us, for us?
Yes.
I wonder, I haven't heard from him. He's
It's,
usually pretty good.
Yeah, I got it.
Which one
I
is
have
it?
I have the paper in my car. I should have brought it
No,
in.
it's okay.
It's the property next door to my house.
Oh,
That they wanna
we
change to, they wanna make it into.
They wanna give it a
The
variance.
storage, yeah, they wanna do a variance on it where
So you
the,
sent an email, didn't we?
yeah,
Would you co- would you-
yes.
well, send it to me.
I'll send you the picture, I'll send you
Okay.
the screenshot of the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, send me
It's
everything.
probably online too,
All right.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Where'd
it
he
is
go?
now.
Did he leave us?
Please sit down.
Come on down, you're the next contestant,
Sorry.
Chrissy. Why don't you come and tell us a little bit, words of wisdom here for the chief? Is that what we're doing here today? No, don't have any words of wisdom for us?
Yes, you do.
You do. Just hit that green button. I'm sure. No, we just, on top.
Right on the top. See the finger?
Like right here.
There you go, it's green. All right, it's not an inquisition. Do you guys have anything for him? But
Just got like 2 or
I
3
thought Chief was gonna come in, just give us some
I
enlightenment.
don't know what happened. I think he needed to leave for.
Yeah, he told me, he texted me.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
So what you got to tell us?
Well, I love this city. I live here since 2008, and let's see, I've been employed since 2017. It's the best place I've ever worked, and I love living here.
I appreciate that.
How's that?
Well, and also,
And thank you for protecting us.
Yeah, thank you.
and so, I know,
And I hope you like the cookies I bring once a week.
Yes, we eat those.
what kind of cookies?
I didn't know they were from you.
I don't bake cookies.
I know. Okay, so wait a minute.
Guy back there with the red
So,
face.
okay, all this is a farce. We got a farce on cookies. We have a farce on cookies. All right, no worries. We just want to make sure, if he didn't, I don't know if Chief had anything he wanted to really tell us.
No,
We
no,
do
he
appreciate that. I know neighborhood watches are still kind of being.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I'm getting more and more about speeding through neighborhoods again. I've gotten two more complaints in the last, one today and then one last week, or late last week. So I know that's going on. I know people are in a hurry, but you know, the first time you hit a child, because you're driving through there, and I know people have asked, there's pros and cons about the speed bumps. But I can tell you that if the street wants them, you know, and everybody on the street agrees with it, we're gonna put them on there. So I don't know where we need to put them on there, but you guys, that'd be one thing. If you hear of stuff like that, we need to go out and look. And maybe get one of you guys to go with me sometimes, go look at it. But I know that people are very upset about some of the speeding through the neighborhoods. Now, there's always been a little bit of a problem on Jackie Way. I've heard that a lot before. And I've heard some other places too on the other side in the Sycamore Bend area. So I just want to make sure, we start doing that. We're trying to make sure, we're also trying to make sure from a standpoint of the schools, you know, we are looking at what we can do to be just our presence out there so people will slow down, turn some blue lights on, so just people.
Yeah, Sergeant Rotover does every shift he works there
Yep.
out there. There's probably like
Yeah,
2 or
just
3
making
of
sure
them
that
out
you're there, that just really keeps people on their toes and being a little careful, because I really wouldn't want to see a child get hurt. And, you know, that's just, again, 44 is a busy traffic and there's a lot of things going on.
And we do, just to give you some info, we do night shift. We do a lot of documentation of what neighborhoods we enter into. We didn't do this very often before, but Chief come up with this idea to start documenting, showing more, because people don't know. You know, 11 o'clock at night, they don't know we're there, and if they go to the other room, we pass by their house in 5-10 seconds, and you don't know. You say you never see us, but you know, we want to let people know we're there. We document it clear in case they ever.
Yeah, no, I do think we have a presence in the community, and we're gonna continue that. And then, you know, again, neighborhood watches will help, just make sure everybody's talking to each other, and I think it's a big deal to make sure
Yeah,
we do
absolutely.
that. All right. Do keep an eye on Mike Hibbert for me, please.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I have a question for you. Did you get a report, is those apartments across from Boardwalk, is that tenured?
Yes.
Is that what they're called? Did you get a report about some break-ins and autos around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning this morning?
Just recently.
Yes, it was this morning.
I haven't yet. I haven't even checked my emails. I came in at 6. There might be something in my email.
Well, there was someone, one of the people that works at KOA, her son lives in those apartments and said that he had to chase a group of about 4 or 5 people off
Yeah, we
that were breaking into cars there.
Yeah, it's happened a lot.
that's what we're keeping our eye on a lot of times right now is for these carloads coming in sometimes in packs at night. You know, we attempt to try to find them, and we do find them once in a while, but it's the same thing. They see us before we see them. They're smart, you know. I mean,
Well, appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a challenge, and it'll keep being that way, but you guys see things, make sure, it's not a bad idea to email the chief, you know, or email me and I'll get it to him, because like I said, anybody calls me, I always just give it to Chief. I said, look, Chief, send somebody out there.
yeah,
So-
he'll send it to us.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. Thank you for all your compliments too.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Thank
can
you
leave it-
very
You can leave
much.
it on.
And I'm glad you
all right.
love the city.
Thank you. Chief Craig, come on up, man.
Uh-oh, here he is.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are y'all?
We're doing good, Chief.
Good. We got a lot of stuff going on. We're supporting Amber with Light Up Shep, of course. Tons of stuff going on there. Also, the 9th, 10th, and 11th of December, we're going to start the Santa runs going through the neighborhoods with the fire truck. There'll be a bunch of trucks cruising through the neighborhoods with Santa on top there. On the 12th of December, over at the convention center, there'll be from 6 to 8. They have all the fire trucks hit that parking lot for that. With Santa's going to be over there, so we'll be supporting that also. They'll also be out in the neighborhoods on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. So 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18. It's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of those 2 weeks. So you'll see us out in the neighborhood. Also, Sergeant Cooper, they're going to be at Walmart to close out every night. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. They'll be at Walmart. Go ahead.
For at least an hour for people to come see Santa if we miss your street.
So we'll be.
Do we do, are we doing one of these with Roby? Which was the, because Hannah was telling me that they have, where they take the fire trucks that go do hot chocolate and cookies for the apartments in some of the areas we did.
I have not got anything.
We did that last year. I got to ride in the truck. It was really cool.
You can ride it anytime you want. Anybody.
Thank you, Chief. I did. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of cold sitting up on top of the truck like that.
Just make sure they sign
But-
waivers, Jim.
And I can check with
Make sure he signs a waiver. Because
When you let people run the fire truck, they gotta be signing waivers. Come on.
I got to ring the bell on the homecoming parade. I don't let me drive one.
A few more. On Friday, there's going to be a hazardous material exercise with GFS. If you saw the today the incident in Louisville with the large blast, injured 11 people. We're doing a large event on Friday with our partners from Zonton and Southeast Bullet. anhydrous ammonia leak with several patients involved also. So working with Bullitt County EMS and a big exercise there. That's at 9 o'clock on Friday morning. Also, we're going up on the first week of December to pick up our new tower ladder. Not pick up, do the final inspection of it, and then they'll bring it back to us on that. So that's what we got going on. Tons of events between now and the end of the year. Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you guys are both putting things out on social media so people see what you're doing in the police department, fire department. I think those are really cool because it just educates people more of what you guys do. When they get it, but it's always nice to see you reminded that you guys are involved in the community. So we appreciate it.
Questions?
Anything for Chief? Good? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a super.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So obviously Scott's on vacation. And Nikki, do you have any words of wisdom? You knew I was going to pick on you, put you on the spot. She just knew it.
She always has words of wisdom.
Yeah, I do want to say
All right.
thank you to the admin department. We've been short-staffed, so they've really pulled together. I'm really proud of them.
Okay. Yeah, I do. I'm very proud of him as
And
well.
welcome to Angie and Sam.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Nikki.
You're welcome.
All right. So, council members, let me see who we start this with.
No, before you do them.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I gotta ask them about the rezoning.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask them. So, council, I hadn't heard from anybody on needing a hearing for the rezoning of that property across from Bullitt Central. That the two properties that wanna go from R, one to B2, I think it's for the real estate. So, as far as I know, we're not gonna do a hearing. Do you all want, is anyone wanting to do an ordinance where where you all just adopt the planning commission's findings of fact and the recommendations, or what do you all wanting, or do nothing, I guess that's an option, or do you want to adopt an ordinance? Or,
Do we need to adopt an ordinance?
I would, just for record, right, because
I was
otherwise,
thinking, yeah.
the question kind of becomes down the future in 5 years.
Yeah, how about that?
Who rezoned that? Was that something the city done? So, yes, and we're within the deadline, so we can have our first reading at the 25th and our second at the 9th, and we'll meet that deadline.
I'll answer that.
Okay, all right, well, I'll plan that, I'll prepare that and get that out, where it's a simple, because we didn't have a hearing, so
Right.
there's nothing for us to do.
Everybody knows where it's at, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. that's-
Yeah, when you drive, I think for a long time, I think the signs are down now, but the
Signs,
signs used to be up for a long time after their hearing, so. Okay, I just wanted to make sure what I needed to do for that.
Right.
And then last, so at the, with the mayor's, I guess, kind of permission or whatever, I am creating a handbook for elected officials that will kind of go over the things that you guys see daily. It's gonna be short. I've got it down to 28 pages, and that's with like indentions, like when a paragraph. So it's
And
not
she
like
said
all-
short, she had 28 pages to me. I went, what?
But it's with indentions.
What?
That is short, but it covers, so it's gonna cover, everything from like what the mayor's duties are to what the council's duties are to, public purpose spending, to the budget, to the, all, like kind of, just a broad overview. So like, if we gotta get into the nitty gritty, this isn't gonna be where you go. But, I thought, I'd do it for, the new member. But since you guys don't have it, I'd give you guys a copy so that you could see what, Rob has. It'll cover, rezoning, how like we talked about what the standard is, kind of annexations, what the different ones are. So it's just kind of a good baseline.
A handbook for us to go back through.
Yeah, and it's kind of short, just a good, as I said, if you want something more in depth, I know KLC puts out a lot of stuff, but my gosh, I mean, you're digging through sometimes 100 pages or 500 pages, and sometimes you're like, I just need the brief nitty gritty. So just wanted to let you guys know that that'll probably be done in, by the next meeting or before the end of the year.
Okay.
Just something, as I said, and as laws change, because like certain laws change within the last 2 years, so this will keep you guys updated, like, on the sale of our property, what the, how we've got to go about doing that, on bidding requirements, that some of that changes, even the exceptions have changed recently, so that'll all be in there for you guys, so that you guys kind of are kept up to date.
So she just reminded me of something for, I was thinking of you two, because we talk a lot about the categories for like light industrial, what's in there, and like versus the general, versus, the business, one and twos. And so I'd like to see us kind of make it a deal. And I don't know if you two, we'll talk about it, but I thought, because I've seen everybody kind of interact with that, but I've seen these two down here really go at it. And I think we need to really establish what we consider each of these areas. What do you think about that?
Absolutely.
Because you
Yeah,
guys have been both
that's
really
what-
passionate, both of you guys have been real passionate about it.
Well, that's what I'm gonna get with Bonnie and whomever else, doing the resolution for, we know the tow lots. But the broader discussion will be, within that is, are there other, businesses, for instance, like a tree service business that maybe we don't. So we're gonna do a resolution where we maybe come up with, a new zoning area and that resolution, once it's adopted here, will then get sent over to the planning commission. They will either make a recommendation to adopt it or not. Regardless of their recommendation, it
We're
comes-
still gonna do our.
regardless
yeah,
of their
we're trying to-
recommendation, it
yeah.
comes back here, but that's the process.
Right.
So, so now that,
I think
we
that's
know we've
critical
got
to us.
another, 2 years, which we won't take 2 years, but now that we know, we're not in limbo in terms of the election, so that'll probably be something that we get, I'll probably start looking at it in December when it gets a little slow, and then I figure maybe in January, Bonnie, we can
Yeah, and
start
Brad too.
working on
I
it.
do, because both you guys have
Yeah.
made some really good comments about that stuff. I mean, everybody's made comments, I think they've been beneficial, but I've just listened to you two a lot about that piece. There's things that we're gonna try to be orchestrating in this first year, what we're gonna do. I won't take anything away from Faith, she's got some stuff to say. Trying to hold off, Faith, I don't wanna say anything
I
else.
know, you're gonna slip.
I'm not gonna slip, I'm not gonna slip.
I've been all excited
I
about
know,
this
I'm
all
not
day.
gonna slip, I'm not gonna slip.
But yeah, I mean, because Bonnie, I think that's something that we really want to take our time with, right? Like, look at other cities, look at their,
Do my best.
and figure out like, what do we want? Because I think if we're going to take this effort, we don't want to just do it for a tow lot. We really want to start looking at the bigger picture. And so I foresee it, like me and you and Brad, and if there's a third person, we'd have to limit it to no more than 3, but for quorum issues. But if we want to look at that, then but I foresee that being something that takes some time and some, meetings, and then coming to the council and discussing it before we really have the resolution, and everybody seeing kind of what we're talking about and giving input, and then going back and working on it some more. So,
Yeah, I really want it to be our standard, what we accept in all these areas, because you guys, I mean, everybody's been making points about this stuff, so we don't have to do that anymore. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, we'll send it to the county, and go, okay, hey, this is what we like to do in our city. If they don't like it, we're gonna do what we wanna do. And again, I mean, we wanna be a partner.
Yeah.
Listen, we wanna build our partnerships with them as well. But I think for everybody here, I've heard you all,
But we need our standard for our city.
yeah.
so I think this is a good way to get started. So if you guys, again, and we do 2 a lot of times because of just the having too many in the group, but if you guys can work it out, if we can put 3 in there, I don't care. But I just know that you 2 are the first 2, but if you wanna add somebody to that, that's fine too. I just think it's important. We have something, we say, this is what we're gonna allow.
And I
Ms.
know
Bonnie?
that they're gonna look at it, the planning department's gonna look at the zoning regulations too. So it might be a scenario where when we get to, into a certain point, we may wanna reach out to Charlie at over there and say, what are you thinking? Cause I know he definitely recognizes as well that these need to be, kind of overhauled, let's say. So, I mean, we're not opposed to, reaching out to, to him and getting some, input and thoughts, because I know they're working, or they're gonna start working on it after the
Yeah, I
conference
mean,
passed.
they're getting everything compiled now to put together a comprehensive plan. It's gonna be, we got one more here. It's actually here in December 11th or 13th. I can't remember which day it is. But they've got something here for the comprehensive plan, actually, in this room.
Yes.
But I do think that there's a point where, they already start compiling all this, but, while that's happening, I think we could put together something pretty quick.
Okay.
I think that we should have something by the spring that we say, this is our standards on each of these
Yeah.
categories. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Because then it's non-negotiable to us. We look at it, it's one of those, if it fits it, we know it's right, then we go with it. There's been debate we have here, but we can actually have a little Bible there for what we want out of these categories.
I think that us doing this will give Jeremy a clearer picture of what the city wants when he goes to vote. And so he won't have that problem that we've had before where we were opposite of what he voted for. I think if we give him a clear picture of what kind of stuff that we're looking at, it will help him and it'll help us.
Yeah, so, and just, I know he's not here, but I think the key in there's 2 things. First of all, there is gray matter in some of these areas that costs part of his, and then the other thing he looks at is when he's there, he's feeling that environment of that zoning. And he's trying to do something, again, he's trying to be as much partner, because there are times, if there's not a win, he's a diplomat. he's still trying to work to next time. If me and Brad don't disagree, then he's gotta be at least maybe for him a little bit, cause then the next time he really needs to get Brad on his team. So that's kind of, they do that too. I mean, they kind of work together, and I think he's trying to do that. His professional experience is above and beyond a lot of people in that zoning. And again, not being mean to him, that's just what he does for a living. So he's got a better insight on some of these things, but I think this will be a lot easier. I think you're right about that too. We good with that? I just wanna make sure that you guys are, well, I know everybody's got concerns sometimes when we see things being developed in the city that they don't fit what we really want. And, so there'll be some way, and then the expectation is we'll give it to the people that come in to see us. Hey, welcome here. Take a look at this. This is how we're gonna do things. So you can either be with us or we won't vote for what you want. So we wanna make sure that's in there too, so. All right. Oh, we got some special guests. All right. Glad to have you guys. Good to see you. All right. You done?
I'm done.
All right. So let's start with Miss Paula.
I don't have anything.
All right, Miss Paula. All right, I'm gonna go with Bonnie. How about Bonnie? I had a great time last week.
Yep.
And it was really good.
I wanted to, thank the fire department for what all they did for the dedication. My husband for the firehouse. It went really well. Had quite a few people there. Had a few nice speeches, and I appreciate everything they did. They hung up pictures of him in the hallway. That was sort of nice, reminisce seeing those. Thank you to the mayor and the council for supporting this. It meant a whole lot to me and to his family, and to my family, that he got represented. And I appreciate it very much. I also thank you for the people who voted for me. And that's all I have.
Well, before we go any further, I now have a picture of Brad Whitaker at the age of 12 working for the fire department.
It was so cute.
It was a really young picture. I was like, and then I saw another one that was really young like that too. So there was two of, there was two of you, and then there was a picture of your brother up there, right?
Terry, yeah.
I saw Terry up there too.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. It looked really, I thought 12. Mike, no, but it was young. It was some good pictures up there. Mike, Hibbert, do you have anything wonderful for us today?
Oh, of course.
Oh, I wouldn't expect anything less. Come on, sir. Come on, bring it on.
I got a question. I've been talking to Brenda. Who controls our website?
So we actually do that through Lou Geek. They service it, so we have to send it to them. Is that, I know Amber has to do that on certain things, right? Yeah. So it's Lou Geek. Is there something we would like to put on there? Is there
No, it's
something-
what's missing.
Okay.
We've got several months of no minutes, no videos.
Okay. Right.
I think a previous employee had promised that our audit would be on there the next day. It's
Wow.
still not there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make some notes.
Yeah,
Amber,
our
me and you'll
budget
get together.
still
We'll
isn't
we'll
there.
just go talk to Lou Geek in the morning.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
our budget still isn't there.
Well,
So I
okay.
mean, you know, people, it's not just me. I mean,
No worries.
I can pick on our employees and get this information. But,
We'll get at you.
yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
It's just a matter, and several members of the public have mentioned that we go here and we can't get, we don't see stuff.
Yeah, I haven't been on it in a little bit, so that's probably fair, and I probably should just
Okay.
take a peek every once in a while.
I guess the other thing is, I want to welcome our two new employees, Angie and Sam. Sam, I probably won't be spending much time with you soon. Angie, you're another situation.
Okay, we ration his time. Don't worry about it.
But there's email and text.
Oh, she's getting started already. I like it. I like it. Yeah. No, it's all good. We're excited to have you. And again, there's a lot of things that, we're getting some things done, and we still got some challenges, but we're gonna get it. And, pretty excited about what we're gonna get doing.
Yeah, but we do have, I mean, as I was walking the neighborhoods and such this year, there was a lot of mention about, people are excited about the improvements we're making with the aquatic center, improvements in the park and other stuff, Buckman, beautification down Buckman Street. And I don't have the total numbers or the plan. I can get with you on that, but they do mention roads. Okay, so.
Oh, we got some coming up.
They do mention roads and of course drainage, which we have several of. So I guess that's about it for this evening.
Yeah, we'll appreciate that.
All right.
And remember, Angie, it's only 5 minutes a day. If you pass those 5 minutes, let me know.
But you're not supposed to be talking to me for 30 days, so that adds up.
Oh, boy. I'll work with you on that piece. All right. Is that good?
That's good.
All right, Mike. All right, Mr. Brad? All right, well, glad to have you guys back. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do Faith.
Oh, boy.
All right, I was going to save you for
I have
last,
quite a
but,
bit.
all right, come on, bring it on.
Did you want Jennifer to go first, or you want me to go first,
Jennifer, you.
Okay. All right, I have several things.
I'll go first.
What's
Thank
your-
you to everyone who voted for me.
Yeah,
And I cannot wait for the next 2 years, so thank you.
it's going to be good stuff.
It'll be a good one. Good 2 years. Okay, so it's my turn.
Yes,
Guess I
ma'am.
better turn this on so Nikki can get it all. Phew. Good luck, honey. Okay, so the very first thing before our big announcement, I received a call from Amelia Curry. She owns Wildflowers. And she has a client that his son passed away, and he was stationed in Hawaii. He's in the military. Sergeant Austin Sweat. Anyways, she said, so his body's still in Hawaii, and they're going to bury him in Arlington, I'm getting emotional, cemetery. His wife is from Australia, and they met in the military, and she's going to move back there. They'd already bought a home, was going to retire and go there. Anyways, so they have no money to really get him back here, and the military will help, but there's other things, with the family, and the dad's torn. He don't want him there. He wants him in LJ, but my mother said he's going to be where he wants to be. But anywho, so Amelia said, what can we do to help them? Because she would like to have, she knew about my swing, and she said, I want a miniature swing. And she said, well, let me hook you up with Mayor and Faith. And so she called the mayor, then she called me, and her name's Kathy Sweat. So we put it out on Facebook. Well, Amelia did. And within 2 hours, she already had $450. And then I got a call, because my name was on that post too, from Rocco, our own Rocco, that owns Camp Hero now, or president or whatever of it. And he personally sent me $1,130 towards that swing. So now we have 1,800 and something, I believe, 1,780. So I just wanted to throw out there that this community blows me away. Every time I put something on Facebook or my friends mention something on Facebook, I get these crazy. I was at lunch with a friend, and he said, I've got $1,130 for you. I'm like, what are you talking about, Rocco? And then he said, talked about Mr. Sweat. And so I don't know. I know we'll be able to buy a bench with it. I don't know about a swing, but we are going to put a block in the wall, and I told him I'd personally pay for that, but I think we probably have enough money. But anyways, great family. Big shout out to Rocco and Amelia for helping with this. I don't know what I'd do without these people. I don't. But I had to bring that up. Isn't that the
It was good
most
to him.
precious thing?
He was 21 years in military service, and
21
it's
years.
15 months before he can be buried
Yep.
in Arlington.
I mean, they already bought a home in Australia. He paid for it. They've been paying for it for quite a while.
It was
Young
very
son. He has a
heartbreaking.
young son. It was just tragic, And so keep his
Good
family
story.
in your prayers.
Good story. Good story.
She's going to be coming to a lot of things with the veteran stuff. She does have a full-time job. But anyways, so I had to bring that up and shout out to those people. Then I'll go on with the road thing.
Yeah.
So the mayor and I met and talked for quite a while. He's a long-winded man, I'm telling you. Everybody in this room knows it.
Everybody knows it.
So, but I am too,
Nothing down there.
because we kept getting off track. So I asked him about if I could form a group to work on roads, to bring in with Tom pictures and where the roads are at. The ones that are falling apart, because subdivisions, Jackie Way for one, is a mess. And it's not the only one. There's Beach Grove Road's a mess. Some of them over there, you have to dodge potholes. So I asked him if I could ask a couple council members to go along with me. And to be honest with you, Jennifer, this was Jennifer's ideal. She came to me and said, we need to do something about these roads, so you talk to the mayor and see if he'll let us have a group. And I said, okay. So Jennifer, this is her thing. And so I called and asked Brad if he would help with it, because him and I don't work, so we can be out during the day. Well, he kind
Wait a minute,
of,
wait a minute, that didn't sound good.
works.
I don't
He
care how you
kinda
laid that out,
partially.
Brad, that didn't sound good. You might want to refute
Brad,
that.
Brad's like me. Well, you're like me. You travel around and look at a lot of things, because you told me
But you
several
don't work.
roads today. But anyway, so we're gonna have a road group with Tom LaFollette, and I talked to Tom today. He'll be back at work Tuesday. So,
Yeah. So the only thing I'm gonna add to that, we were talking about that, what we wanna do is, they're gonna go out and just identify in the city, they're gonna go drive around, find these roads, and what they're gonna do is, we're gonna sit down with Tom, and what we're gonna do is, if they're not on the list, but they're really bad, we move it up. Cause he's got a list already, so Tom and I have been working on a list, but this way, it gets you all involved, and then if you hear something, you can just go take care of it. It's gonna be one of those things, and then Tom will get me, cause we're allocating, we can put $1 million. That's a lot of roads can get fixed with that.
it is.
And we did that on purpose because we carried over money for the park plan, but we knew we still got roads to take care of. And we've done some things already, and there's just so much that hasn't been done over the last 10 years, to be honest with you.
Right.
Even the drainage piece is really a challenge. But this piece would be a good place to start. And again, as you do that, I was just joking with Jennifer because we've always made this running joke about the stormwater line. Because it is a very important piece, the 44 to the river. That storm line is gonna be really important. That next connection piece is from Blue Lake to 44. That takes away about 20% of the water problems in the city, okay? That really does alleviate a real big piece. So we know we got challenges, but you know, when people ask about the growth piece of the city, we're gonna continue to grow. We understand some of the traffic issues, but we cannot not have the type of things for our community. You gotta have these things for families. So we're gonna work around those challenges. This would be a great way to start. And again, with you guys working on some of the planning and zoning piece, working on the streets, we're gonna really hit that. We've done some things, but this gives us a chance to do that. And it'll be part of the budget next year already.
And if
I've got
you
some money
see
put
any
aside.
roads that are bad, give myself or
Just if
Jennifer,
you guys-
whatever's the call,
Right.
email.
Yes,
Uh,
I have, something that you can ask Tom is, what is the general life of blacktopping?
10
10
Is it
years.
That's what I,
I've already,
okay, that's
yeah.
what I thought it was, but I wasn't
Yes.
sure. So that maybe that you all can work on as you get these roads and you get them done is a 10-year plan
That's what
of
I
rotation.
That's what we're gonna
That's
do.
what I
No.
had.
Exactly.
I did that at that meeting, the forum, that's
Yeah.
what I talked about, I want districts, I want 10 districts. One being our industrial park, and then sectioning out the city in districts.
And that's a
just
great
going
idea,
through,
yeah.
And every 10 years, that district, it just goes
And I
in
could
rotation.
Yeah,
tell
do
you that Tanya had showed me several years ago a list of some of the streets in Shepherdsville. It's been 20 years since, I know my street
The
alone
Point
has
is a
been
good example of
25.
that.
Yes.
The Point was a horrible, and the industrial park, we've
The
not done,
industrial park is bad,
It
we
is,
have not done
absolutely.
anything in that park.
The
And there's a lot of
potholes are
money that comes
swimming
from that,
pools.
that's right.
Yeah.
So and again, we have to take care of all of our partners. We don't ignore our residential areas, but the fact is, when you put this in play, there's two things. How you get everything done, but we're gonna triage it. We'll take the list that we got already, that he's got working on, and then we'll just kind of infuse the ones that need to be done first. So
Right.
I'll give you an example. If you look at what Jackie Way and all that area back, remember the whole road was caving in down there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's because the weight of it wasn't designed for some of these roads. I mean,
Right.
I think it was a tractor trailer coming back through there, or a school bus that was just tearing up the curb. And so that stuff happens. Look at Blue Lick.
Yes.
Look at, yes.
I mean, that's a road in
There's
itself.
sides where.
I know it's a
there's
state
cut-
road,
yeah.
but it's
It's a
bad.
state road,
It's a state road, but.
But it
But
gets
it's
you-
our
gives you-
duty to stay on the state to do this.
So
you know.
that's another piece for you guys, is that you see that, again, you can reach out to KYTC, but you reach out to Bill Peabody. And
Yeah.
start with him, cause he's our local guy. Let those know, if it's not our road, at least get that, because you hear sometimes complaints, but is it our road? And it's important, we've gotta educate people on what roads are ours, we'll take care of them, but ones that are not, we'll go, hey, need some loving on this road here. So I
Right.
think that's another piece to that, that'd be great.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Bonner.
And I think if we get active on, hey, Mr. Peabody, you need to
They're
look
really
at this
short-staffed.
road.
And
They're
even
really
our
short-staffed.
state reps, I mean,
Right.
you know,
Uh-huh.
we gotta
Absolutely.
get with them too, I mean, Peyton and Tom.
I've already
we gotta
called
put
Peyton
them
on two things and bam, he got it done.
Yes.
That sounds
But-
good.
So, I have one more thing. and this is very dear to my heart. The mayor asked me to do it. Why don't you tell him what I'm
No.
gonna do? Okay, so he called me in and he knows that this is probably my last term as council. It is my last term as council. I'm not saying I'm gonna quit politics, but I'm gonna end my time with the council. I love the city, but I feel like there's something out there for me, else. Maybe not. I might just wanna travel and drink a little margaritas.
And do no work like Brad.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sorry,
work
Brad.
like Brad. I'm gonna do
I'm
dive
still stuck
school.
on that, Brad.
Just sit around and not.
I'm gonna take classes from Brad. No, I don't wanna dive. I don't like sharks. But anyways, so he called me in and he said, I know the thing that's dearest to your heart that you bring up quite a bit, and that's the splash pad in the park. I worked tooth and nail to get that splash pad, and I told him, I said, I'm not leaving until that splash pad's done. So I think
I
that's
told her
why
I'd have it done tomorrow.
that's why he's pushing it, so he can get me to leave. But anyway, so I'm gonna be helping Tom with the splash pad, some of the stuff in the park, the benches,
Yeah, what we want to do is, since
Courtney
we're,
with the wall.
the 5K part, we have a lot of places back there that sentimentally that we can put benches and stuff like that. So, what you're doing, Courtney, with some of the military folks, this is what I want her to do with the public. There's a lot of memories. She's got, obviously, Steve out there, which I think is awesome. But people want to have that. They can go back to that part of the park, just reflect, just enjoy it. They can walk the park and then sit, with their loved ones for memory. And I think that's kind of cool. So she knows a lot of folks in the community. I thought it'd be a great way to kind of get that going. And then you guys have things, just get it to Faith, and then we're gonna just work on benches, because you're gonna have benches all through those areas that we're
And they're
expanding.
not, they're really nice. I mean, I get texts all the time from my friends that I'm sitting in Steve's bench today. And that warms my heart to know that people are still thinking about him. Don't it you? So.
So it's good stuff. I think that's the biggest piece is to, again, you've been part of the community a long time. And I just want to make sure that we get some of this really rolling, because I think a lot of things that we work on, this is just as important. As, because there are a lot of people that have been part of this community. We just want to remember them.
Yeah. And I'll probably work with you some, Sam, huh?
I said, what did Tom do that you sickened me and Faith on him?
I know, right?
Be
No,
nice to
I'm
Tom.
gonna tell you,
He's
you know what
hey,
Public
you be
Works-
nice to Tom. He's a
Public
nice
Works
guy.
Love the Tom.
No,
The guy at Public Works told me last, at the food truck invasion, we miss you. You don't never come see us no
And
more.
now, they're gonna have both of them.
I'm like, oh, now they're gonna
I'll
get
be
me.
nice to him. Both of you. If I get reports, you'd be mean to him.
No, I
Go to the
can't be
principal's
mean to
office.
Tom.
Yeah. It's all
But anyways, I'm really excited about all this stuff, so I can't wait to get
good. Yeah. I'm
foot
excited
on
for
the ground and
Shepherd's.
start running.
Yeah, we are winning. We're gonna win more as far as the city's concerned, and that we respect all the cities that we assimilate ourselves with. We feel like we've got a great opportunity to really be where we can be, and I'm really proud of everybody. I mean, this takes a community effort from everybody that's in it. So again, council, I did thank you for that. I wanna make sure you guys know, I do appreciate, first of all, putting up with me, second of all, and really seeing the vision is gonna work. The vision's gonna work, but we need to be working together. And again, you've got some insights. You guys are problem solvers. Just keep bringing things to me. I think we got some good things working on. But again, I'll make the offer. If there's anything else that you guys want as we go into next year, budgets are not gonna be too much different. I mean, but we still have some wiggle room in projects that we can do. So make sure you speak up about that. We'll get some
Okay,
things going.
I have one more thing.
One more thing, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to the people in this community that believed in me. I was blown away by election night. I mean, wasn't I, Jennifer?
Yes.
Jennifer kept telling me, you're gonna be top vote getter. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna probably be 6,
We all
knew
she was gonna be top vote. Yes.
They all kept telling me that, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Even she told me that, Of course, she believes in me. But anyways, that's all I have. Thank you all.
And we appreciate it very much. Thank you, Faith. And listen, thank you all for being here. We need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Ho! You know, write her up for that, Mike. All right, I need a roll call on that, please.
All right, Bonnie,
Yes.
okay, Brad,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Faith,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Paula.
Yes.
All right, well, listen, thank you all for being here, and have a great evening.
Thank you all for coming.